Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Thanks for joining me for another crafty venture. As promised, this is a bonus card using the vases that you can see there in the card that I actually cut those out of the front side of a shaker panel on another card that I will have listed and linked downstairs. So that card originally was created for the Whimsy Stamps channel, and I've shared it here as well. And we're just going to go ahead and jump on in. So I used this little wood grain piece from the Hourglass Die Set. My apologies. And in my head, I have these vases sitting on wooden shelves on a wood plank wall. And in my head, again, in my head, I'm going to refer to that a lot because in my head, I see it a certain way. Unfortunately, it doesn't turn out the way I have in my head, but you guys let me know in the end what you think about it. It's not going to be a card for everybody. It's not going to make sense to everybody, but it is what it is. So here we go. You saw me kind of auditioning all my players there. I had that Shiplap stamped piece from a project that I did earlier this summer. And as I was auditioning them, my brain said, make this a 5x7 card. And that was kind of my plan. And then I derailed. No, I just changed directions. And again, you guys let me know if it would have been better on a 5x7 card or if you like the direction I ended up going in. So here you can see I have stamped out a couple of the Fadoodles flowers, and I'm coloring them up using my Arteza Everblends. These are just my regular Everblends. I also use the Ultras on a couple of the cards, but I don't show you that whole process. I just always go light to dark, dark to light, and then back again if need be. And I've colored them all in essentially the same kind of color schemes, the purple and the yellows. And then I fussy cut all of them out. So my tip when you're fussy cutting is hold your scissor basically still and turn your image. So whether you're doing loop-de-loops like I am on these flowers or you're doing something completely different, yeah, move that paper more than you move your scissor. And if you have to get into teeny tight spaces, a lot of people just use the tip of their scissor. So you need something that's really sharp and has a fine point. So here you can see that I have colored all of them. I've fussy cut all of them out, and now I'm just adding some green paper scraps to essentially be the stems. Super easy. A couple of them actually look like blades of grass, but you know, it is what it is. So I leave them there to dry. Here is where I go in a different direction. I decided that I wanted a circle card. I don't know. That's just what I decided. So I'm auditioning all my players again. Not really sure where it's going. I can't really get it to work quite in my head, but that's not unusual for me. So I decided just go with it, go cut out all your pieces, and you can see that's exactly what I've done. I've used that big circle die from Whimsy, and I've used all these little components. These guys that I'm picking up now are from the Build-A-Graveyard. I've got the cats and the bats and the skulls, and all these pieces, almost all of them will be used on the card. Some of them will end up being left over. But I've also got the spiders and the web from the Spiders and Webs die set. And I would rather have too many pieces than not enough. So that's kind of what I did. And I had peeled paint sitting on my desk. It actually happened to be the perfect color for this. And just did a little bit of the ink blending around the edges. And I wanted it to be a little bit darker all the way around. So you can see I just took my circle straight to the ink pad, and I got a little bit deeper edge right there. Now you can see that I've cut out a second panel. I'll call it a panel. for the two together, the two panels together become my card base. That's just the way I know how to make a shaped card. So just use some super strong double-sided adhesive to put on that flap there, and I scored it at about 1/4 of an inch. No, I think it was more like 1/8 of an inch. And then I added the tape, and ultimately I will tape the two together, and that hinge is what's going to hold them all together. I knew that I needed some splatter, so I pulled out my Posca pens. Love my Posca pens, guys. I mean, I typically only use them for splatter, but they're good for so many more things. Now, it is paint. It's acrylic paint, so it takes a little bit for them to dry. So if you do something like this, just know that. And they dry permanent. So you should see all the splatters I have that are permanent now. But yeah, so I splattered the card base and I splattered all of my little shelves. You can kind of see the wood grain on there a little bit better here. And I take my Posca pen to the edges of each of the shelves as well as all the way around my card base. And again, that's supposed to be like a shiplap wall. And I love that it's kind of scruffy and rough, and it's, you know, it's not just kind of framing it in a black circle, but it's kind of sketchy. I like that. So I did a little bit of ink blending over all my flowers as well to kind of grunge them up. I used walnut stain, which again was just sitting on my desk. And I am using the leftover Posca paint, and I'm just dipping my finger in it and spreading it around. Again, trying to grunge up the flowers a little bit because we don't want them all pretty and pristine. I mean, it's a Halloween card. So here you can see my little vases up close. Again, they were cut out of another panel, and I will again link to that video downstairs. I have it here on my channel as well as over on the Whimsy channel, and you can watch either or you can watch both. It doesn't matter. You don't have to watch it at all. But yeah, so I used them, and I think they look super cool all by themselves. Somebody suggested to me that it looked like a witch's brew station, and I love that idea. So here you can see I'm kind of offsetting all of the shelves, excuse me, hoping to get all of my components to fit on the shelves, which ultimately they don't, but that doesn't mean I didn't try. So you can see I added some spider webs. I love those spider webs, and this was actually just one, and I kind of pieced it on there in areas where I wanted it and cut off all the excess where I didn't want it. And yeah, so here I have my very first vase, and I have two of the flowers tucked behind there, and you can see how grungy they are. I am again using that black super sticky super strong double-sided adhesive from Whimsy. And you could see that I was trying to fit that third vase, and it just wasn't going to work. And I've had to move this spider several times. I took the flower out of the third vase and I put it in there, in the vase on the right. You can see that. And here I'm adding that second spider and just kind of moving him around in different places. And I decided that I wanted to add my other bat right there. And I add another bat down at the bottom ultimately. But here I am just very persistent, if nothing else, and I want this third vase on here. I thought maybe I could just stick it off like it's falling over. Maybe I could lay it on the top shelf behind the others. And no, I'm not a girl that takes no for an answer usually, which tends to be a strong suit, especially at work. But sometimes no is the right answer. So you need to know when to relent. So I relented with that third vase. And here you can see I'm adding the fun detail of the googly eyes in the center of each of these creepy flowers. I think it's so much fun. Again, this card isn't going to be for everybody, but I've had a good time making it. Again, does it look like what I had in my brain? No. No, it does not, I can tell you. But does it ultimately tell the story? I think that it does. And I love the idea of it being a witch's brew station. That is brilliant. That wasn't what I had in mind, but that is definitely what it looks like. I think it's cool. So those are all my components. I have the spiders and the spider webs and the shelves and the bats and the vases and the flowers and the googly eyes. So much fun, guys. Let me know what you think. Again, I know it's not for everybody, but let me know downstairs if it's you. And let me know if you like the direction it ended up going in, or if you think it may have been better as a 5x7 card. I don't mind the flowers sticking off the top. I really don't. But I think ultimately, in order to have spread the vases out, or the shelves out and get that third vase on there, I think 5x7 would have been the right way to go. But it's okay. I'm not mad about it. I'm really not. I'm just curious what you guys think, if you would have liked to see it in a 5x7 version or not. And here I just have some up close so you can see all the details. I don't know why that bottom web looks green, because it is not, and I have it right here in front of me. It is as white as the top one, but it is what it is. So guys, this has been Nancy, the Handy Scandy, with this bonus card with the eyeball flowers. Thanks for spending some time with me, guys. Again, let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe, comment, all the things. And until next time, mwah, this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy, and I'm out.